Hey guys. Technical difficulties. Whatever. I'm going to be kind of crooked. How's everybody doing? Hey, Amber. I'm like trying to fix my camera. It's kind of driving me crazy a little bit. Lethan's been gaming. He moves my stuff around. So, thank you. How, there we go. How have you been? How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Oh, lots of stuff with this new moon. There's a lot of stuff going on astrologically right now, just in general. I'm going to talk about all that. It's going to be like a Moonstream / planetary catch-up / this is sort of what I see the energy being like in the coming days. I don't like to do a lot of predictive astrology. It's not that I don't put any stock into it, because I do, like astrology. I mean, we use like, they can predict the stock market and the weather and whatever. We as humans can use the data we've gathered from patterns to say, okay, this is what is most likely, probably almost 100% going to happen. Astrology is just another one of those tools. But I don't do a lot of like, oh, this is going to happen on this day and all that kind of stuff. Let me get it to where I can see the comments. Amber says, finally home since before Christmas. I'm breathing finally. Wow. Yeah, that's yeah. I know you are. As a Scorpio, I like my personal space. It's sometimes uncomfortable to be in somebody else's space. So I'm glad you're home and can be in your own personal space and rest. I am getting the chart pulled up for, is that it? Did I just mess it up? Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. Time zone. I need an Apple computer, so when I pull up Firefox on my computer, it goes right back to where it was on my phone. So we're looking at a new moon tomorrow. Yes, we are doing our thing Wednesday. If you want, I know it's New Year's Day, but if you party too hard, let me know, and we can not. But as far as I know, I'm totally down for Wednesday. Okay, that's close enough. Good. I want to too. So I realized after, I go back and watch the videos after we're done, just to see what all is going on with that. Look for improvements. And I realized that the screen stopped sharing when I was talking, and I was like, what? Because I was wanting to show everybody some things. So I think I'm just going to do some graphics and post them and do a little blog thing about it. I think that's what's going to happen. Oh, Ethan in this chair. There we go. I don't feel so short now. Okay. So, new moon in Capricorn. Whew. Capricorn and the moon, they seem like, oh, Amber says, sounds fun. I'm excited to see those. Thank you. I love doing the blogs. It's so much easier for me to write than to talk. Which is weird because I have difficulty journaling, which is like, anyways, the moon in Capricorn. So the moon is very like internal feminine type energy, like watery. It's your subconscious, you know. And in Capricorn, like Capricorn is this space of like building something very physical on the material plane. And it's something that we naturally do at some point in our lives, right? You start building your household, you start building your company, you start building blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. And what it is your legacy. So Capricorn is where you build your legacy. The physical thing that's going to live on after you. So what happens when there's like this very internal, personal energy in this space? How does it act? Well, since it's a new moon and it's conjunct with the sun, I think it brings a unique, I just got chills, like a unique perspective, an opportunity to see both sides of something. So what I mean by that is it's like your internal and your external are working together. So you can think about what it is you want to build, what it is you want to have in this world that is going to be strong enough to last longer than you, longer than your physical body. And you can like reflect on that because that's what the moon does. Even though the moon isn't reflecting right now because it's a new moon, it's with the sun. You can reflect on what that really means to you. So it's not so much like I'm doing this because this is, the way things are. This is what you do. You save for retirement, hopefully. You buy a house, you have 2.5 kids and a dog. It's more than that. It brings, I feel like it brings so much more meaning to what we're doing with our life. Capricorn is so serious. Capricorn's probably the most serious sign of the whole zodiac. It's an energy that doesn't joke around much. I always think about Ebenezer Scrooge when I think about Capricorn because he was all about business and work to the point of like stinginess, where he was like, oh, it's bootstraps and, you get what you deserve kind of thing. You just need to work harder. But that's not what life is all about. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe that movie, A Christmas Carol, was like a new moon in Capricorn story because he got to reflect on, he got to reflect on the past, present, and future. I just noticed that the moon and the sun are squaring the nodes. So this is such a Christmas Carol chart that I'm looking at right now. Right? What a fun thought. Yeah. So that's going to be our analogy for this chart is A Christmas Carol, right? So here's the sun and the moon over here. One of these days I'm going to get some software where I can like circle this stuff, or I'm sure there's something on my computer. I just don't know how to get there. Pluto and Aquarius is going to teach me. And then you've got the north node up here and the south node down here. So these guys are always opposing each other. They're always straight across from each other because they're just mathematical points for the moon. But then squaring it right here is the sun and the moon. The north node, part of what the north node represents is your future, what you're growing into, who you have the potential to become. And the south node is the past, the things that you're most comfortable with, the way you've done things so far, sort of. And a lot of times we look at it like these are the things that, with the south node, like the negative aspects of whatever sign it's in, those are sort of the things, the habits you want to get away from. And I'll just use Libra for an example since it's in Libra. Like you might want to try to stop people pleasing so much. Things can't always be perfectly balanced. Sometimes there's going to be struggle or conflict or unbalance. So let go of that need to keep everything so perfectly balanced and start leaning toward the positive aspects of Aries, which would be like this fiery passion to do, to go, experience, to live. And not like where Libra is like wants to keep everything nice and balanced. Aries is not putting that much thought into it. Like Libra will overthink and Aries will not think at all. So sort of just kind of fly by the seat of your pants type energy. So you could interpret the north and south node as that sort of thing. And how does that come into play with the sun and the moon? It's like, I think it helps us reflect on that part of ourselves. What are some things we try to balance too much? And how can we sort of just go with the flow more? Just like let go. Like you're on a roller coaster and you're holding on so tight, but then it's so cool when you can just let go and like fly, especially if it's a roller coaster where you're on the bottom of the track instead of sitting in a seat on top of the track. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Letting go of some of the Libra stuff and embracing some of the Aries stuff. So we can, with the sun and moon, reflect internally, what is that for us? Because the moon is your filter. It's how you take in every bit of information that comes in front of your brain. Sights, smells, sounds, tastes, feels, all of it. And what we do with that information, how we process it, like our own personal bias is the moon. Not bias like with a negative connotation, just its general definition bias. And the sun is like, now what are we going to do with it? And Capricorn, it's like, what are we going to build with it? So I really like this energy. New Year's resolutions, right? Yeah, exactly. It's very New Year's resolution-y energy. And I think it's part of the reason why New Year's is when it is. Because you have like, I talked about the new sun, right? And how it starts this cycle. And like, that's why we celebrate like Jesus' birthday on Christmas, because it's the winter solstice. It's the new sun. The sun is reborn or born. A new sun cycle is born. And the days start getting less dark and less dark. Like there's more light each day until you reach the summer solstice. So with the new moon being there too, like in Capricorn, you have a new moon and a new sun happening at the same time. I think that might be where the idea of New Year's resolutions comes from, because I don't know that for sure. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it makes sense to me because it's a time when we're like, when we want to start something new in our life, when we want to make this change or something completely new, and it's a new cycle for us. What we want to build for ourselves, whether it's your health or you want to read more books, you want to build your health, you want to build your brain power, you want to build your emotional self, whatever part of yourself you want to work on. I think that's why people just have a natural inclination to do it at this time of the year. There's not a lot really going on that's like really pulling on this energy, this sun and moon energy. I'm looking at like the other planets. Mars is not making any crazy aspects to it. Pluto, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, like none of the other planets are really in a crazy aspect. There's some like sextiles and stuff. So I would say it's like a very supportive energy of doing that thing that you want to do. I've never been a New Year's resolution type person. Just on principle, if it's something that's trendy, I rebuke it. But I will say I have been feeling extra, like I always feel this renewal during the winter solstice. But this year I've been feeling it a lot more. Mm-hmm. Another thing that is so cool about what's going on right now, and this doesn't directly affect the new moon, I just think it's cool that it's happening at the same time, is that Pluto has gone into Aquarius. It's not going to go back into Capricorn. Like, it's done with all the retrograding and stuff. And Pluto always represents like a generational type change. Like when Pluto was in Capricorn, Pluto draws out the poison and things. It shows us where the problem is and where there's room for improvement. And then it's up to us to improve upon them, right? So like when Pluto was in Capricorn, if you think about it, the last few years, there's been all this crazy stuff with like banking and government, all the Capricorn things, all the Scrooge things. Pluto has been showing them to us. Now Pluto is in Aquarius. Yes, it's like the sign of humanitarianism and all those things, medicine, technology. What it really is, it represents like our ability to use tools. That's why the sign of Aquarius is like the water bearer pouring the water out of the jar. The jar is Aquarius. It's a tool that we use to carry the water, right? And water is life. There's no life without water. I think maybe that's why, because I have a kind of a crazy Pluto in my chart. I feel Pluto energy pretty strongly. That might be why I'm personally feeling more of like this. What is the word that I'm looking for? It's like opportunistic energy, almost like a motivational type thing. Like no pressure to. It's like a no pressure opportunity. It's like there's no deadlines, there's no parameters, there's no restriction. You can just kind of go and do it how you want to do it. You have the freedom to do it, and you want to do it. That's how I feel personally. What are you guys feeling like? Amber says, I feel a lot of actionable change coming, not just change for change's sake, but change with purpose and intention. Yeah, right? That's how I feel too. I feel like I just got chills again. I feel like the things that I'm about to start working on are really like I have started working on them, but they're about to like come into fruition. You know, I'm about to be able to start seeing it in the real world instead of just in my brain or in my heart. I feel like there's such purpose to it, and that's a really good feeling. I like this new. This is aside from the new moon in Scorpio. This is my favorite new moon of the year, just because it's so close to the solstice, the winter solstice. Um, you guys know that I love the dark. It's restorative for me. It's like getting really good sleep. So I like it when it's dark outside. I can see how all of this reflection, if you don't have a positive outlook about it, like if you're in a place where negative emotions are creeping up on you, or like intrusive thoughts that are not so great, that kind of thing. If you're going through a really rough patch, so it's like everything around you is a struggle, I can see how reflecting on starting something new, especially when you're holding it against the North Node and the South Node, like the ghost of Christmas past and the ghost of Christmas future, I can see how it would feel overwhelming, like this is a battle that I can't win type of energy, or am I even capable of this, like a defeatist. Instead of it being an opportunity, it's more like a defeatist type attitude. I think that for people that are feeling like that, don't let things outside of you tell you what you're worth. Don't do that. That's just their opinion on this. Look, it stopped sharing again. Hang on. Let me see if I can fix it. Don't let anything outside of yourself tell you about yourself. That's not how things work. I think about like diamonds, right? People place certain values on diamonds, like whatever the current market is, whatever they're worth right now. You know, sometimes they might be worth more, sometimes they might be worth less. It depends on where they come from, or you know, like what part of the world or how they were obtained. But those values change as like society progresses. And there's so many different factors that go into it. Like years and years ago, if a diamond was mined by some 3-year-old, you know, in the middle of nowhere, then it was worth all this money. And now morally we're like, oh, that's wrong. We shouldn't make 3-year-olds mine for diamonds. So we don't put as much value on that. It devalues the diamond, and we don't want that, right? But at the end of the day, the diamond really doesn't give a fuck how much you think it's worth. It doesn't care about all these circumstances or all of this. It doesn't care what you think or what your opinion is. It's still a diamond. It's not going to stop being a diamond. It's still the exact same diamond, no matter what somebody says its value is. It doesn't change what the thing actually is. And that's how it is with us. We're like diamonds. We are who we are. We are what we are. And other people's opinions or thoughts or how they feel about us today compared to how they used to feel about us. Just because they don't value us as much now as they used to, that's a them problem. You're still the same person. You haven't changed. So, fuck them. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, don't let thoughts of like how things used to be or how things could be in the future, like, don't let those things affect who you are. Keep doing you and building yourself. So when you're like in your new moon contemplation, um, think about that. Don't think about doing these things for somebody else, because you're not building anything for somebody else. Other people might be affected by what you're building for yourself. Like, if I want to renovate my house and do this, that, and the third to it, that's for me. My kids get the benefit from it, but it's my house. I'm the one that lives here, that's going to live here after they move out. They can enjoy it while they're here or not. They don't have to like it. They don't have to like the new cabinet color I picked out. That's for me. Protect yourself. Protect your energy. And don't let people impose their will on you. That's another Capricorn thing. It's like Capricorn is serious and it's strong and it's like sturdy. You know what I mean? Capricorn is like the most rock solid of all the zodiac signs, I feel like. It's an energy that is just, it's going to do what it's going to do. It's like the boss, CEO. It's not concerned about what other people think. It's going to do what's best for it and its business. What is that new saying that's going around now? They're standing on business. Capricorn stands on business. Does that make sense? So I think this new moon is, what are we going to stand on business about? What are some things about ourselves that we might need to reflect on and let go of? What are some things that we can strive toward, or like new habits we can create? Not just for the sake of doing it. You know what I mean? Like Amber said, not change for the sake of change, but because it's something that you know will, it's something that can become like a lifestyle. It's not something you check off your to-do list. Okay, I exercised, I drank my water, you know, you got all your trackers and your planner and stuff. You don't do it just to fill in those things. You do it because of how it makes you feel. Like, you exercise now so you'll feel better later. You make sure you're drinking your water so you will feel better later. It's like it becomes a lifestyle because this is how you want to feel in your life. This is how you want to live your life. That's what I think about this new moon. Like, what state of mind do you want to be in when you wake up and as you go through your day? And what actions can you do to make sure that happens? That's how I feel about it. And then Pluto is just kind of like going to help us figure out the tools we need to do that. I feel like I said that so quick. Maybe because I was thinking about it so much earlier. I normally don't even look at the chart until I start the live stream, just because I like to see what my first impressions are. But I was kind of, I guess because of the solstice, so I was thinking about it a little more than I normally would. Lethan is howling at the moon. Yeah, he howls at the moon a lot. He is wild. You can probably hear him watching YouTube. He watches YouTube videos about games that he plays online, so he gets really excited when they're like doing good in the game. I'm here for it, right? Unless somebody thinks that I have him in a cage and they might need to send somebody out here to check on him. My nephews do that too. I think, is that a Gen Alpha thing? Is that a Generation Alpha Honey Badger thing? Honey Badger don't give a shit? Because Sonny does not do that. Dominic was wild when he was little, but he didn't do that either. Yeah, he is excited and having fun. Josh already left for work, so Leland is doing really good right now. He doesn't have anybody to keep him occupied. So what kind of new things are you guys starting in this new phase of astrological energy? You don't have to tell me. You don't have to say it out loud. Just like think about it. If you want to tell me, you can. You can comment on the live stream, or you can comment on the post where the link is for the live stream. I'm really feeling the Capricorn energy, and I'm going to use Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, to help me structure some things business-wise. I've got all the little bits and pieces. I just got to put them all together, and it's going to make things run smoother. So when I do things, I'm going to feel the way I want to feel when I'm doing them. That's what I'm doing. One of the things I'm going to start doing is journaling. Like I mentioned a little bit ago, I've always been so terrible at journaling. I feel like my thoughts, like I have all these really awesome thoughts, and I can have this like internal dialogue with myself, and it sounds so great, but when it comes to like getting it out, whatever medium I use to get it outside of myself, it doesn't, like there's a block somewhere, it doesn't want to flow. And I feel like when I am able to journal or write down something that I'm thinking about, it comes out like automatic writing almost. Like it's just these bits and pieces and symbols and gibberish. And if you looked at it, you would have no clue what it meant. But then like, how do I take all of those things and put them together? I'm going to show you, like, how do I piece that together so it makes sense? And I've started looking up some ways to do that, some tools I can use to help me do that. So, like,
these claws are weak and they're staying out longer than they're supposed to.
She might have got it caught in something, and it's just a little sore right now, but I think it'll be okay. Thank you for letting me know. He's worried about the cat. This is my journal. Well, it's my notebook that I like to keep all my notes and stuff in. Amber says my Scorpio self is reveling in this limited social media life, and that will continue, preserving what's left of my sanity and not losing myself in anxious doom scrolling. Yeah, definitely. Send you this album to listen to when you're... Yeah, do that. That's one of the things that I picked up on from people who were talking about when they journal and stuff, is they're talking about how they use music to help them, and sometimes they'll just play like the same song over and over and over again. Stephen King does that, and Ryan Holiday does that. I think I mentioned him. He's an author, and he practices stoicism. And I didn't know that he practiced stoicism when I found him. I just kind of like YouTube searched how to write a nonfiction book, and he popped up. So one of the things he does is like write down his thoughts on note cards, and like how I have all these pages in here with just like random stuff just everywhere. He does that, but with note cards, and then he goes back and like organizes the note cards, puts them together in groups of like cohesive thoughts, and I love that. So that's what I'm gonna do. I might not use like the note card thing, but Amber loves my big discs. Thank you, Brandy, Nerdy B. She had these, and I saw them, and I was like, "Oh my god, where did you get those?" And so she told me, and I love them. But I like the disc system because I can take the pages out. So it'll probably be like sort of like Ryan's note card system, but with pages in this notebook. And I'm going to make things more cohesive. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my shit together. Also, Amber, this is one thing that you might really like. This is a honeycomb planner. This is I ordered the PDF version. But you can get a printed version. They do, it's like I'll show you my oven. This is one that the kids got me for Christmas a couple years ago. Let's see better. And it's got like the normal stuff in it, but at the beginning, it shows like it's got that. It shows this is like how to use it, the stuff that's highlighted or whatever, because there's two different highlighted things. I'll show you what I mean. It's got your own chart in here. It's got a couple of like solar return charts. And then it shows your transits and stuff for the year. So like on this monthly view, some of this stuff is gray, but the stuff that's in blue, those are like your personal transits. So your personal transits are in blue, and then the normal, like mundane, worldly transits are in gray. And the yellow stuff that's highlighted has to do with like zodiacal releasing. But it's really, really cool. If you've got a really good understanding, or not even like a really good understanding, if you have a general understanding of what the planets mean and what the signs mean, this is awesome. See, I even like took some notes on this page. So I use it to track my personal transits, because sometimes there's a lot of them. I used to track them all in my planner, but that's a lot. Like I would go and like write the stuff in and use all the stickers and stuff, but that's a lot. I've looked at them, but honestly, I'm a bit intimidated still. I get it. When I first got this, and this was just a couple years ago, I was like, holy shit, what does all that stuff mean? But they explain everything in here. And if they don't spell it out for you, because it's not to teach you about astrology, it's to use as like a reference, sort of, just so you know what's going on, and you're the one that interprets it or whatever, or understands the information. It just gives you the information. If it doesn't explain what it is, it makes it very easy to find out what it is. It gives you the information you need so you can go learn more about it. So, sorry, this is like driving me crazy. Bras. Maybe when Pluto's in Aquarius, bras won't be a thing anymore. We'll come up with something better. A better tool for holding your girls together. Lethan. Sorry. Anyways, this is this was $10 for 6 months of my personal transits. One of the cool things that you can have added to it for free, because they have lots of different options. They have like all the moon the lunar charts. So all the new moons and full moons, they have to chart for that in here. And it's specific to exactly where you are in the world, your town. And it shows you everything that's going on with that. There's an ephemeris in there. I'm not like affiliated with them or anything. I just really like how much information you get. He's serenading us. Bless his heart, as we say in the South. But there's all kinds of like charts and stuff. You might like that, Amber. Data stuff. So I'm excited to use this. I'm going to use this to help me journal. I'm going to look at my transits every day and intentionally sit down and make myself write it out every day. What I'm doing, like what is going on, what I think about it, how I'm feeling about it, any thoughts or feelings that come up about that transit that I want to write about. I'm going to do that. It's not a resolution. It's not a New Year's resolution. Okay. I planned on this before New Year's. This is a new sun, new moon in Capricorn energy. It's astrological, not trendy. Amber says, okay, hear me out. Journal for 10 minutes or one song before you look at transits. Then look and journal and see what has changed. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a good idea. Because the more information we have about something, it does affect how we, it should affect how we think about it because we have more information, so we can think more. Is it a Taylor Swift album that you're going to send me? There are certain songs or like playlists. No. Oh, it's not Taylor Swift. Okay. I like to listen to especially when I'm making the washi towers or the bracelet towers or whatever you want to call them, scrunchy towers. I like to listen to my Slipknot playlist when I'm doing these. I don't know what it is. I guess because the music is so external. It's like a very masculine type sound, and I'm like doing something with power tools and like it's one of those repetitive things like I was talking about last week or a couple weeks ago for the new moon, you know, like just do one physical thing that is like a repetitive type of deal. Like when I'm making these, that's all I have to do is focus on just doing the task that I'm doing. And it's almost like this meditative space that happens. It's like in Qigong, they call it Wu Wei, effortless. What is it? Effortless action without action. It's basically where you're just like so in the zone, in the flow that you're not even trying. It's just flowing. It's just going. Like when I'm driving and I can think better, it's like that. So that's my Slipknot playlist. I'll have to find one for journaling. I'm going to try yours. I think I'm rambling now. Do you have any questions about this new moon? Or anything we've discussed? Anything to add to it? Anything you disagree with? I'm all ears. Scorpios are just weird about things that other people find painful. Like we always like that weird BDSM stuff. If it's painful, then it's more fun for us. Other people are just like, oh my god, you're crazy. Why would you like that? But that might be pathetic, you know? Well, that's all I have. There's pleasure and pain. There is pleasure and pain. And you know what? There's pain and pleasure too. Like what is that card in tarot? The Ten of Cups? Is it that's the one with the rainbow and the family and everybody's like all happy and stuff? That card has always been so ominous to me. I'm like, something is about to happen. Things can't be that happy, perfect. I don't trust this. If things are too good, I don't trust it. I was watching Twisters at my sister-in-law's house for Christmas, and I hadn't seen it. And in the beginning of the movie, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but in the beginning of the movie, like the group of friends are going out and they're, gonna, they're like in college or something, and, they're doing their college stuff, and they're in the storm, and they're about to drive to the tornadoes and set up all their equipment and stuff, and they're like taking pictures and all that, and I'm like, something's about to happen. I don't trust this happiness. But if something is like, if something is painful, like Cowboys, this season they have had, everybody on the team is hurt. We're losing. Philadelphia kicked our ass today so bad. It was painful. But I love my team. There's like a camaraderie type energy, in the fandom or whatever. It's like, it sucks, but we got each other's back kind of thing. Like, I know y'all got your ass kicked today, but I'm here for you. It brings you closer. And that's a very pleasurable feeling, knowing that that there's like a connection, you know what I mean? That you can be there for each other or support somebody or have somebody support you when you're going through it. And of course, it goes without saying all the Scorpio related things that have to do with pleasure and pain. Can you give me a few more minutes? I'm almost done. Thank you. He's getting real antsy. I think he's ready to eat dinner and play some Scorpio knows. Scorpio does know. And Scorpio is not scared. So that's all I have for the new moon thing. Take a look at it one more time. Sun, moon, new moon, Capricorn, the nodes, a Christmas carol. Let's come out of it like Scrooge at the end of the movie. It'll make us better people. Better people for ourselves, not for anyone else. I'm going to get off here. I think I've rambled enough. And I will see you guys. Oh, that's the last one. Crap. The full moon is in a couple weeks. I think it's on the 13th. I can look at my handy dandy calendar right here and see my planner. And see when that full moon is. It's going to be on January 13th at 4:26 p.m. Central Standard Time. What is that? That's on a Monday. So I guess that means we're going to keep doing the moon streams on Sunday night. As long as you guys are okay with that, let me know. If there's a day, like Friday, Saturday, Sundays, when I try to do it on the weekends, because Josh is here usually and he can keep Lethan entertained. But if there's a day when you really want to do it, or a day that just really does not work, let me know. You're very welcome, Amber. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And thanks to all the people watching the replay. Works for me. Cool. Then we will keep doing it on Sunday nights. Until the new moon and the full moon start happening on like a Wednesday, and then we'll figure it out. All right. I'm going to go. I'll see you guys later.